Yeah. So what I'm thinking is probably within the next man, I don't know, probably within the next 10 years, maybe shorter than that. The way that we view '70s players now, like Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. I know that was the '60s, but players like that, especially like them Bob Cooley dudes, the way that we view them, that's what the next generation is going to start viewing. The way they're going to start viewing '90s players. Just look at what Kevin Garnett said today. He told Stephen A. You ain't download the new part of the system. You know what I'm saying? You ain't download. Hold on. Basically saying you ain't download this era yet. Meaning that the way that they play, the way that they operate, the way that they think is different. So let's just say 20 years ago, one of the best players in the league is probably Alonzo Mourning. He one of the best centers in the league. Alonzo was just a defensive guy, tough. He could score. You can pull up Alonzo's numbers. They ain't not great. They not. He not an all time. He not an all time great center to me. Let's see something. Damn, my bad. There we go. Zoe is 7-time All Star, 2-time block champ, 2-time All NBA, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time All Defense. That's weird that he got two depoys and two Defensive Player of the Years, but whatever. Uh, let's see. So Zoe for his career averaged 17 and 8, not bad, but this is role player stuff. So his best year is '96 on the Heat, and he averaging 23 and 10. Year before that, 21, basically 10. After that, he dropped off a little bit, but probably if you say his prime years, it's probably prime years is probably his first 10 years, 93 to what? Nah, not even. He didn't make it 10 years, maybe 8. So his prime years, he about 20, 21, and 10 or so. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit less. And my point is, that's a 20 and 10 guy in the '90s. Lonzo Mourning might still get them rebounds now, but the buckets, maybe he will put back buckets, stuff like that. But they used to view him as one of the best centers in the league. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, these dudes wasn't that good. You know what I mean? Like this team, this Miami team, this is the team that had to play the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals in '97. They won 60 games, so they always talk about, oh, the Bulls face more 60 win teams than LeBron did, whatever. All right, cool. So in this series, Jordan averaged 30 against them, right? 30, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Pippen only averaged 16, so Jordan definitely carried them. Tim Hardaway averaged 17, Morton averaged 15, and Mashburn averaged 12. This team not good. This team not good. This team gets to the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals. I guess you could call them similar to what Miami did, but Miami, I would say Jimmy Butler is better than any of these dudes. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like we be talking about these players when they say Jordan's competition was. To me, all I remember is John Starks and the Knicks. They had a subpar team, bro. Like, their team was not good. Matter of fact, let's go right there, yo. This is really his competition if you really think about it. Like, who is Jordan really going up against in the '90s? Starks is his competition. They played at least 3 times, so we know Starks his points is trash. But his best year is that '94 year. He averaged 19. Let's go right there then. '94 they averaged 19. They this is the year that Jordan retired. So this is his best year. They beat they beat the Bulls in 7. All right, the next year after that, Let me see. So the '96 year, he was probably already done. They lost to the Bulls, and they lost to the Bulls in 5. Let's see. Jordan averaged 36 against them. Like this is ridiculous, man. Pippen averaged 15. So that's crazy. So their best player is Patrick Ewing. He averages 23 and 11 rebounds, which is good. Which is probably Pat Ewing actually probably would have been the second best player on the all-time great team. And Starks is averaging 13 points a game. Oakley averaging 13 points a game. I mean, they all like subpar players, man. Like not even close to good, really. You know what I'm saying? Like not even close. Even when you click on the Bulls, right? If you go through who the Bulls had to go through, and this is what I'm just trying to say. As analytics is getting better, and as like people start to really like go through the years, Jordan's first chip to me is the most legit one. That was the '91 championship. They went through in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pistons, even though they were getting whatever, Pistons and the Lakers. That was his first chip. Next year, in '92, this is what they go up against. Miami Heat in round one sweep them. New York Knicks in round two. That was a 7-game series. Let's click on the 7-game series with the Knicks. This is a second championship run, right? So Jordan averaged 31 against them, and they had Xavier McDaniel Patrick Ewing, Xavier McDaniel, John Starks, Gerald Wilkins, and then Mark Jackson. Yo, this team is trash, man. Like, I mean, Pat Ewing is Pat Ewing. I get him from top 10 center all the time. But Xavier McDaniel, I mean, obviously he was a good player, but this is crazy. Who's guarding Michael Jordan? Is what I'm trying to figure out. And Xavier McDaniel guarding Michael Jordan maybe sometimes, but it was probably Stark's really responsibility. So that they took him 7 games, just probably, you know what I mean, fouls and all that kind of stuff, whatever. All right. So then after that they played the Cleveland Cavaliers. They got Mark Price and Craig Elo. Like this is really who they had. Like this is and I don't even understand that the conversation about the competition. So he averaged 30 against them too. And Mark Price averaged 18, Larry Nance 17, Brad Daugherty 17, Hot Rod Williams 12. This dude really name was Hot Rod, and Craig Elo 12. So they have all these starters are good, but this is a trash team. It's just this team makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? How many games did they win this year? Let me look back real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Cleveland Cavaliers won 57 games that year. 57. This is what they really won. So it's like I don't even understand the logic behind saying that they was even close to one of the best. Like, let's see, Brad Daugherty averaged 20 and 10. Larry Nance and Mark Price supposed to be the All NBA player. He averaged 17 and 7. It's not bad, but this is a team full of bums. Just sorry, man. As far as all-time great players we're talking about. Then they played the Trailblazers, which I would say that was a good series. I think Drexler and them played well, but they didn't have a great player. They didn't have a great like second tier player. So that's his first championship. The next season, this is their first three-peat, right? The next season, they go through Atlanta Hawks. They sweep the Cavaliers, of course. Now they play the Knicks again, and Phoenix. This is their first three-peat. Like none of we don't talk about none of these teams or players in the GOAT debate, all time great, nothing. Then they go up against Barkley, which I would say Barkley is the top 30 player. People have him 15. I think that's way too high. I don't got nobody. I know championships in the top 20 to me. I don't even know why that would even be a thing. Like individually, he's a good player, MVP, but nah. Barkley had a year though. This is Barkley MVP year anyway. You know what I'm saying? Barkley had a year for sure. Let me see. That year, what the Barkley average is MVP year? Barkley averaged 25, 25 and 12. He's the best player in the league. 25 and 12 now is probably that Embiid is killing them numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like Joker is killing them numbers. So the big men now are just better. Even if you want to say the physicality part, I don't think physicality would have played that much into it. Embiid and them. Maybe Embiid a little bit more fragile, but what physicality really had done? You know what I'm saying? They had a good squad. Everybody up there is Dan Marley. That's what I'm saying, man. Like this is Jordan competition. Who's guarding Jordan this series? Dan Marley, Danny Ainge. They both average over 15, and then just go downhill from there. You know what I'm saying? So that's his first three-peat. And I would even argue on top of that, the product and everybody called the big three Celtics. I mean, the big three Miami Heat won the, you know what I mean, like the leverage, and LeBron had this, and they won 60 games this year too. Anyway, the production that Pippen gave Jordan in this finals run, which was like 21, 8, and 6, is the same exact production that D Wade gave LeBron in Miami. So why is one a big three and the other one is what? Just whatever. And the same thing with Bosh. Bosh gave him about 14 and 7 or 8, and then Horace Grant gave him about 12 and 8. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that we're gonna start looking at the 90s a little bit weird in about 10 years. We're gonna start saying, yeah, Jordan was the Wilt Chamberlain of the 90s. Crazy numbers, dominated, whatever. Even though Wilt didn't win as much, but Wilt was the superstar of the 60s and the 70s, really. Even Kareem didn't even win his in his era. That's why I don't even have Kareem top 10 anyway. But but yeah, so I think we're gonna start looking at Jordan's career and say, is he really even on Mount Rushmore? I'm just being for real. The way that we're gonna look at his career is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? Because Kevin Durant gonna start coming up. Because this next era of great players is, well, not next era, but this era and even now. If LeBron win another ring, that elevate him. If Steph win another one, that elevate him. Giannis win one, that could put him in anybody's top 10. Joker win another one, that could put him in anybody's top 10. KD win another one, that could possibly elevate him like to top 6, 7, 6, maybe even 5. Depends how you look at it. So this next generation of players, man, is coming up, and they're gonna look back and be like, so KD and LeBron was going at it, and you know what I'm saying, Giannis and Joker is going at it. Giannis and Embiid is going. Who was Jordan facing? Even you could say Russell and Wilt was going at it. You could say Hakeem Olajuwon and Young Shaq and David Robinson. All these dudes is playing each other. Patrick Ewing, they playing each other. At his position, who was Jordan really facing? Who was his main competition? I would say it's probably Clyde Drexler, where he played once. After that, it's a lot of John Starks, a lot of Dan Marley, a lot of Craig Elo, a lot of Danny Ainge. That's what it is. And we don't have none of those players. To me, the Bird and Magic debate in the 80s was real because they was both counteracting each other. The Duncan and Shaq argument is really real. All right, even with Kobe at his position in the playoffs, who's he really going up against? Ginobili is probably his biggest competition. Tracy McGrady was the actual like stair step that he's guarding, and Iverson, obviously. Iverson 2001 was better than Kobe. I mean, that's just reality. But that's what I'm saying. Every era kind of has a stepping stone of competition when you could say this player was actually better and they had to prove it. I don't. I think that they had to prove that they was better than Detroit and the Lakers in that first year. The other 5 championships, I don't see nothing to say there was any. I can see why he retired because it was boring. These dudes can't beat him. There's not even a doubt. Like Karl Malone and them they was never going to do it. They didn't have enough scoring. So yeah, that's just what I think, man. I think that when we're gonna look back in 20 years about this 90s, it's gonna look a little different. What KG said on the podcast was that you got to start downloading this new era of what's going on, and this new era is more scoring, more athletic, better moves, everything, and the competition is just right now. This year, you have no idea who won the championship. right now. You have no idea. You have no idea who's going to win right now. I think the Suns probably can pull it off if they don't get injured. Denver, they won last year, so they got a shot. Do the Lakers have a shot? Maybe. Do the Sixers have a shot? Maybe. Do the Bucks and Dame have a shot? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there's at least 4 teams at the top of the top of the list. Bucks, Denver, Phoenix, and then I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's 3 right there. And it's not even nothing that's clear cut. You don't know who's gonna do what. I even think Dallas gonna make a crazy run this year. So yeah, man, I think this is one of the best areas that we're gonna see, and then we gotta see what's gonna happen.